Hello and welcome. Today, we're doing a quick little class to help you calm your nervous system down. So, this is a great one for times when you're feeling stress or anxiety. These are some simple practices that you can do to send yourself messages of care and safety, to just help to settle everything down. So, we're going to use a few yoga props, but you can use household items to sub in for some of these. Um, I've got wrapped around me is a yoga strap. If you have one of these, great. If not, a nice substitution you can use is a long scarf. We want something that's long enough to wrap around the sides of your rib cage. And we're going to hold it like this and then cross it over. But if you don't have one, that's perfectly fine. We can do without it completely. A couple other things we're going to use are a yoga block. And if you don't have one, that's fine. You can use a couple of books that you can stack up to be roughly this size. Just make sure it's nothing too hard. So see if you've got a soft cover. And the other thing we're going to use is a pair of rubber balls. And what we want to find with these is something that's not too hard and not too soft. So something like a tennis ball will squash down a bit too much, but you don't want something as hard as a lacrosse ball. We're going to have these underneath the back of our neck. So we're going to want to use them together. So what I like to do is put a couple of them into a sock, just like this, and then tie it up so that we've got this kind of thing going on. So we'll get started. And the first thing we're going to do is just settle in, start to bring ourselves into this present moment. So you can sit on the ground like I am, or you can sit in a chair, whatever is the most comfortable for you. Our goal today is to calm down, so it doesn't help anything to sit in a position that feels really uncomfortable. So pick what suits you. So take a moment, just feel yourself sitting here at this moment in this space. Tune into your body, maybe feel the ground or the chair that you're sitting on beneath you. And tune into your own rhythm of breathing. You don't need to change anything, but just notice to start off with. Just see if you can feel a few rounds of breath. Here's your baseline. Just notice, what does your breath feel like? Does it feel shaky? Does it feel smooth? Does it feel quick and fast? Or does it feel slow and relaxed? And we will come back to the breath throughout the class, but we're going to start with a little bit of tapping. So I'm just going to show you here. The spot we're going to start tapping on is if you trace your collarbones right in towards the center, towards the sternum bone here, there's a little corner here where collarbone meets sternum. We're going to try and find that point on both sides. And then we're just going to tap. Tap, breathe easy. These are acupressure points. It's a nice, simple way, again, to help yourself ground and calm down. All right, let that one go. The next spot is right on the sternum, this bone right in the center of your chest. So with a couple of fingers, same thing, tap, breathe easy. And you want to tap hard enough that you feel like a little quiet thump, but not so you're hurting yourself, and not that it's so light that you feel like it's a feathery kind of touch. Just something you can feel. And then we'll let this one go. And the next spots are on the sides of the rib cage. So you can tap like this, or you can kind of bring your arms around to your sides and tap like this. So whatever suits you, same thing here. A few moments of just tapping and breathing. Okay, and let that go. The last spots are on the cheekbones. Try to kind of come underneath the center of your eyes and with a few fingers, just tap. And as you tap on these spots, try to just allow your breath to soften, to slow down. Rather than forcing your breath to slow down, just bring your focus to your exhales. Just follow the length of the exhales. All right, and let that one go. Take a breath. Maybe move your shoulders a little bit. All right. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. We're going to do it on our mat, laying on our back, but I'll just show you while we're here. So take your hands, interlace your fingers, and bring them behind the back of your head. So when we're laying down, you're just going to be resting your head on your hands. Elbows can come out to the side. And this is just an eye movement. So with your eyes opened, we're just going to move our eyes over to look to one side. So it's not your head moving, it's just the eyes. Not so far that you're really straining your eyes. You want to still feel relaxed. And we're just going to hold our eyes in this position. And we're holding for 30 seconds to a minute, or until your body gives you a spontaneous response that tells you that your system is calming down a bit. So that could be a yawn, it could be a sigh breath. Sigh breath is just like a spontaneous, bigger, longer, deeper breath. So paying attention as we do this, notice what signals your body gives you. Sometimes you can sit there for a minute and nothing happens, and that's fine. Just taking that time is still helpful. So let's grab our props and head over to our mat. All right, and once you're here, let's do that eye exercise. So interlace your fingers, bring your hands under the back of your head. Just rest your head in your hands and open your eyes, turn them over to one side. So your hands can give you some feedback about whether your head wants to move as well. Just allow your head to stay still. It's only an eye movement. Hold your eyes in this position and just breathe nice and easy. And this is it. Simple, simple. Just hold your eyes in this position. And you might place your attention on your breathing. And don't try to force your breath to do anything at all. Just notice it as it is right now. And when you're ready, we'll let the side go. Feel free to pause the video and take more time if you'd like. But when you're ready, just close your eyes, let them rest. Maybe you can move them a little bit with your eyes closed. And then open them back up. Turn your gaze in the other direction. Same thing, your head will stay still. Don't go so far that there's strain in your eyes. And once you've found this position, just hold it and breathe. So while you hold this position, I will just talk about this. It's a simple practice. You can do this laying in bed. You can do it first thing in the morning, last thing at night, anytime. And the more you do it, the more your body starts to respond and give you those signs that it's relaxing. But this is also a really nice one for releasing some of the muscles on the back of your neck. So it's great bang for your buck to do this simple little exercise. And when you're ready, let it go. Again, close your eyes, let them rest. And then bring your head back down to the ground. If you want, you can bring your knees in towards your chest and have a little bit of a rocking movement. You could also bring your arms and legs up and just give them a bit of a shake. These rocking movements alone are really nice and soothing for the nervous system. Okay. All right. And we're going to move on to a nice stretch for the muscles of the neck. So we're going to use some props for this one. We're going to use our yoga block or your stack of books, and we're going to use the rubber balls. So we're going to lay down their head on the block like it's our pillow. And then we're going to take the balls and we're going to place them on the back of our neck, right at that point where the back of your head meets your neck. So you can feel for the bones, the back of the skull, and try to get the balls right in that groove there. So doesn't have to be perfect either. But as you can see, I'm just propping my head up, placing the balls there where a lot of us hold so much tension. And then all you have to do here is breathe and stay in this position. We're passively allowing gravity to create the stretch for us, putting a little bit of pressure on those muscles and just breathing with it. So this is it. Simple, simple. Just stay here. And this is one that you could do on your own and stay here for a couple of minutes. Really nice. And again, you can pause the video and stay here for longer if you like. Another thing you can do here is with the balls in place, you can move your head a little bit. And try to really be gentle. This isn't the type of thing where we're trying to kind of jam ourselves so that you're getting the most sensation you possibly can by pushing your head down into the balls. It's a really nice, gentle practice. And a good feedback from your body that you're doing this in the right amount of pressure is that you can still breathe easy. If you find yourself holding your breath, then you're probably going too hard with it. All right, and we'll let this one go. Just set the balls off to the side. Just rest your head here and breathe. And when you're ready, come up to a seat. All right. Once you're up to a seat, we're going to use our yoga strap or scarf, or just your hands if you don't have either of those. I'm sitting on the ground, but you don't have to. If it's not comfortable, then please do grab a chair and sit in that instead. The rest of the class, we can do everything sitting in chair or on the ground. So grab that strap or scarf if you got it, bring it around the back of your rib cage. Bring the two ends of strap or scarf in front of you and cross them over like this so that you're holding either end with your hands. The goal is to be able to apply a little bit of pressure around the back and the sides of your rib cage so that we can feel the ribs move when we breathe. And if you don't have this, that is perfectly fine. Hands on the sides of the ribs, or give yourself a hug to have your hands on the sides like this. Whatever you've got is great. So once you're set up, just come back to your breath. Maybe close your eyes, tune into the rhythm of your breath. Just breathing naturally. Just notice what's going on in your rib cage, and your shoulders, and your neck. And you keep your strap in place or your hands. I'm just going to chit chat a little bit about the anatomy here. When you breathe, your diaphragm muscle, which is on the bottom of the rib cage here, kind of like a dome, it should move. It's your main muscle of respiration. When you inhale and your lungs expand, they'll push the diaphragm down. And as you exhale, the diaphragm should rebound up. But a lot of us are not using that muscle as much as we could be, and instead are using some of the muscles up here on neck, shoulders to breathe more with the upper chest. So when you pay attention to your breathing, if you notice a bit of this going on when you're breathing, tension happening in neck and shoulders, that tells you that could be the root of some of the tension that you've got going on in this region. So let's work on learning to breathe with the ribs, with that diaphragm muscle. And what I'd like you to try is just noticing if the sides of your ribs expand as you breathe. And then let's do that on purpose a little bit more. So, with the strap or your hands for feedback, try to imagine you could breathe into the sides and maybe even the back of your ribs. As you inhale, feel your ribs pushing into the strap or your hands. And try to do all of this with soft shoulders. So, if you're breathing and feel them lifting up or tensing up, try to soften that. Try to direct your attention to expanding your ribs with your inhales. And don't go so far that you're really pushing your breath or making yourself dizzy. Find that sweet spot where you can deepen your breath, move your ribs, and not add more stress to your body. So when you're ready, we'll set the strap to the side if you've been using it. Rest your hands on your legs. Soften your shoulders once again. Take a couple rounds of breath. See if you can feel that movement in your rib cage as you go without the strap this time. And then let's just do some shoulder circles here. Circling up and back. And the other way, forward and down. Lovely. Give them a little bit of a shake. Nice. Okay, and then we'll move our arms with our breath. So tuning into the rhythm of your breath. As you inhale, bring your arms out to the sides and up overhead. Bring your palms together, and as you exhale, trace your hands down the center line of your body. Let's do that a few more times. And let's do that one more time, bringing both arms up. And then this time, bring one arm down to the ground or the side of your chair if you're on a chair. Lengthen through your spine. Feel as if you could get a little bit taller. And then we're just going to side bend. Take a breath or two here. And again, imagine breathing into the sides of your rib cage. And then come on back up, both arms up. Maybe reach up between sides here. And then we'll do our side bend on the other side. Nice long spine. And go the other way. And breathe. Think about filling the side of your rib cage with air as you inhale. And come on back up. Relax your arms, maybe a few more shoulder circles. All right, and then bring your hands to the sides of your ribs, sides or front, whatever's easier to hold on to. Add some length to your spine again. Feel as if you could get just a little bit taller. And we're gonna rotate. Think about moving from your ribs to rotate to one side. That's not all head and neck pulling to the side. We're really trying to do this ribs first and then come back to center and go the other way. Take a breath here. And let's just do that a couple more times, side to side. And come on back. Relax your arms, maybe a few shoulder movements. All right. And let's do another movement of the spine. So this time, when you inhale, press your belly forward, draw your shoulders back. You can look up. And then as you exhale, draw your belly back, round your shoulders forward, tuck your chin. And let's go back and forth a few times. All right, come back to neutral. Have a little bit of a wiggle. And soften your shoulders. Rest your hands on your legs. All right, let's do some movements for the neck now. So start by just tipping your head to one side. So imagine bringing your ear closer to your shoulder. And what we don't want to do is go so far that the other shoulder is lifting up. Just see if you can let your shoulders feel heavy. Just tip your head to the side. Maybe you can feel a bit of stretch along the other side. Stay there, breathe with it. And come on back up. Same thing, other direction. Just breathing nice and easy as you hold this position. Check in with your shoulders that they're not squeezing up or holding tension. You might notice that you tense up somewhere else too. Sometimes your jaw can be holding tension or your belly. Let this one go. Just move your head a little bit any way you'd like. And then we're going to come back to that tapping spot that we started with. So feel for your collarbones. Trace in towards the center line of the body and find that spot where the collarbones meet the sternum, that bone that goes right down the center of your chest. It's like that little corner there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to keep our fingers there on just one side. I like to have one hand over the other. And then here, we're going to hold this spot and tip our head over to one side and see if you feel some tension here in your fingers. And you can stay right here. If you feel a bit of tension there, then just stay there and breathe. If you want to add a little bit more here, then you can rotate your head towards the side that your hand is on. And wherever you land here, if you feel a little bit of tension build, stay there and breathe. You don't want to go to the point where you're hurting anything. It's just checking out where there's some tension here and just being with it. And if you can, while you hold this position, see if you can do a little bit more of our rib breathing. Expanding the sides of your ribs as you inhale and just relaxing with your exhales. And we'll let this side go. Find that same spot on the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you're in that general area and you tip your head in the other direction, wherever you feel a bit of tension building, you know you've got a good spot there, so you're good. So either stay here, just with head tipped over to the other side, or you can add a bit of rotation towards the side where you have your fingers, and breathe here. Maybe you can add in some of the rib breathing. If that's too many details to hold at once, though, then just breathe naturally. And let it go. Let's just do a few easy movements, maybe side to side. Maybe you want to circle your head, dropping your chin down and going side to side. Whatever you'd like. And then let that go and do a few shoulder circles again. All right, one more movement before we wrap up. So we're just going to do some arm circles. So bringing one arm out to the side. The other hand, if you like, can hold on to the side of your ribs. And then just circle your arm around. Doesn't have to be as big as I'm doing. You can do some little circles here too. But whatever suits you, circle your arm and try to allow your rib cage to stay still. So the rib cage isn't moving as you circle. And now we're going to bring the rib cage in. So as you bring your arm up, then twist to the side and finish that big circle and bring the rib back as you come forward. And let's do some nice big circles now. All right, let it go. Other side. Start with some circles. Rib cage staying still here for the first few circles. And then let your rib cage come along for the ride. Going for some little twists in the ribs as we make our arm circles bigger. And let it go. Nice. All right. So once you are here, soften your shoulders, rest your hands, soften your gaze or close your eyes, and just bring your attention inwards. How does your breathing feel? How does your body feel? if anything has changed. If your breath feels a bit more smooth, if your body feels a little less tense, and just remember you just did that all by yourself using some very simple props. You can do this again whenever you need it. And you can choose little bits and pieces of the class as well. The eye exercise or using the rubber balls under the back of your head or any of these nice simple little movements in the neck and the spine. So just know that you can come back to this anytime you need. And for now, we're going to finish up with a resting pose. So you can lay on your mat, you can rest in your chair, whatever suits you, but make your way to a restful position. So wherever you are, settle in, feel the ground or the chair beneath you, and just see if you can soften, allow the ground or the chair to support the weight of your body. And for the next few minutes, I invite you to do absolutely nothing. Just allow your breath to be soft and easy. Allow your body to be heavy and relaxed. And just be here. I will wrap up the video for today, but I really do invite you to stay here in your resting position for a few more minutes. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope this has been helpful.